Welcome to the Central Portal. This video provides a quick tour for Central users. With the release of Central version 2.2, the Central Portal is more than just an interface for administrators. It's now an additional way for all users to access Central as well as manage their projects, data, and user permissions. Let's take a look. During the Central setup process, you will receive the host address for your Central Portal and login credentials. In either Google Chrome or Firefox, access the Central Portal by opening your host address. You'll need your login details to access the portal. Enter them here and click Sign In. Once logged in, the page that is displayed will depend on your user permission. You can see your permission here in the top right corner under your login ID. Users are able to see the projects that they have created and uploaded, or the projects that they have been given access to. If you have admin permissions, you will be able to have full and unrestricted access to the portal. You'll be able to see all projects on the server, change project permissions and owners, create and update user entitlements and integrations, view all events, and maintain instances. We will continue this tour as administrators. Here on the projects page, we can see all projects on the server. Inactive projects are also shown but are grayed out with a small label. The projects are listed in alphabetical order, and we can view them as tiles or toggle to a list here. This view also shows your project permissions. There's also search functionality here. If we click on one of the projects, we are taken to the Project Overview tab, where we can see a brief description of the project, its revisions, and recent events pertaining to this project. If we navigate over to the Users tab, we can see and modify the users that currently have access to this project, change their permissions, and/or grant additional people access. Navigating over to the Files tab, we can see the files in the data room for this project, upload additional files, and see file histories that exist on the server. The Revisions tab is organized by branches and has more details regarding each revision, such as the size, stage, and completeness of upload. We can see incomplete project uploads here. Finally, navigating over to the Events tab, we can see a complete list of all events pertaining to this project here. The Users page can be used to manage access to each of the projects on the server. At a glance, we can see the number of current and available users and connectors as per our license agreement here. We can add a new user using this button here, and we can see our existing users by scrolling through the list here. To edit an individual's access and entitlements, click on their name. Here we can see Brooke's details. We can edit any of these fields and/or reset Brooke's password from here. Below, we can set or edit the user permission to be an administrator and enable or disable Brooke's connector entitlement. Then, over on the right, we can see Brooke's project permissions. As an example, we can give Brooke access to the Banded Iron Ore project. I will start typing the project name. Matching projects populate the dropdown, and I'll select Banded Iron Ore. Then I can set Brooke's permissions for this project. There are 3 levels of permissions for each project. Viewer allows visualization in the central browser with optional export. Editor allows a user to publish updates from Leapfrog and access files. And finally, Owner is the highest level of permission, allowing a user to share the project with users, publish from Leapfrog, and access files. I will assign Brooke viewer permissions and then click on this box to allow for file exports. Then I'll click on Assign Project. Over to the Integrations page, this is where you can add and manage central integrations. We currently have an integration with the IMDEX Hub. This integration enables downhole data collected at the rig by Reflex Tools and stored in the IMDEX Hub to be viewed alongside geological data in Central. If your internet connection is sufficient, live data is available so you can track your drilling as it's happening. Here we have an integration set up for a drilling company. If we click on it, we can see and edit the name and API key for this integration, as well as add additional projects. I'll add the Banded Iron Ore project by typing in here, and then click on Assign Project. The Events tab records all activity on the server. We can set how many events per page and step through the pages here. The Maintenance page is where you set the project stages and their colors, clean up unused project branches, and remove incomplete publishing events. I can add a new stage here. I will change the default order number to place it after peer review and call it Ready for Edits. Then I will choose a color. I can pick one from the palette or assign RGB values. Then click Add Stage. The Unused Branches tab has the option to delete all branches, and the Incomplete Events tab has a similar Delete All Events option if there are incomplete publishing events. That concludes our introductory tour of the Central Portal. Thanks for joining us.